If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. A business absolutely devoted to service will have only one worry about profits. They will be embarrassingly large. I cannot discover that anyone knows enough to say what is and what is definitely not possible. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. If money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. The only real security that a man will have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason so few engage in it. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. There is no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. You don't have to hold a position in order to be a leader. Money is like an arm or leg. Use it or lose it. Before everything else, getting ready is the secret of success. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said, faster horses. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is, make the best quality goods possible at the lowest cost possible, paying the highest wages possible. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. Vision without execution is just hallucination. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. To do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Don't find fault, find a remedy. It is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. Most people spend more time and energy going around problems than in trying to solve them. Wealth, like happiness, is never attained when sought after directly. It comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. There is no man living that cannot do more than he thinks he can. You can't learn in school what the world is going to do next year. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. We don't want tradition. We want to live in the present, and the only history that is worth a tinker's dam is the history we make today. Time and money spent in helping men to do more for themselves is far better than mere giving. My best friend is the one who brings out the best in me. Enthusiasm is the yeast that makes your hopes shine to the stars. Enthusiasm is the sparkle in your eyes, the swing in your gait, the grip of your hand, the irresistible surge of will and energy to execute your ideas. I am looking for a lot of men who have an infinite capacity to not know what can't be done. Competition is the keen cutting edge of business, always shaving away at costs. I believe God is managing affairs and that He doesn't need any advice from me. With God in charge, I believe everything will work out for the best in the end. So what is there to worry about? There is joy in work. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. There are no big problems. There are just a lot of little problems. An idealist is a person who helps other people to be prosperous. Capital punishment is as fundamentally wrong as a cure for crime, as charity is wrong as a cure for poverty. History is more or less bunk. I do not believe a man can ever leave his business. He ought to think of it by day and dream of it by night. Whatever you have, you must either use or lose. A bore is a person who opens his mouth and puts his feet in it. Speculation is only a word covering the making of money out of the manipulation of prices instead of supplying goods and services. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Life is a series of experiences, each one of which makes us bigger, even though sometimes it is hard to realize this. For the world was built to develop character, and we must learn that the setbacks and griefs which we endure help us in our marching onward. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all, but goes on making his own business better all the time. A market is never saturated with a good product, but it is very quickly saturated with a bad one. The man who will use his skill and constructive imagination to see how much he can give for $1 instead of how little he can give for $1 is bound to succeed. You will find men who want to be carried on the shoulders of others, who think that the world owes them a living. They don't seem to see that we must all lift together and pull together. Business is never so healthy as when, like a chicken, it must do a certain amount of scratching around for what it gets.